No matter who you are, what you do, you will always need a roof over your head. Housing.com is a startup which gets you the right kind of roof. Today we have with us Mr. Nihav Jain, who struck gold on his first interview, the first company to visit the campus. But wait, before you dismiss him as a topper and hear his CGPA, let's cut to the chase and hear the success story.
Congratulations, Nihav, on bagging a job at Housing.com.
Thank you.
For starters, can you please elaborate on what your job profile is?
My profile at Housing.com is of a software developer. There I'll be working on the mobile applications or the server-side applications, designing algorithms for presenting the data to the user according to his selections with filters.
What do you think is the optimal skill set required for such a job?
Algorithmic skills is a must. Competitive programming skills, knowledge of data structures, then operating systems, networks, they help. Knowledge of web development and mobile application development it also helps you. That is not a must, but definitely helps.
So can you please tell us what your discipline is and how much your CGPA was and how important these factors were in your selection?
So my branch is information systems. My CGPA is 6.87. So as you would know, this is a low CGPA, so CGPA wasn't that helpful. But yeah, definitely my branch was information systems, so I had all the core courses like data structures, operating systems, and networks in my curriculum. So I did not have to go out of the way to know all these concepts.
So you mentioned your branch was information systems, and I believe computer science was also a part of this. Were these the only disciplines allowed to sit for this company, or were they based on merit?
Housing was open for all branches. If you know how to code, you're welcome here.
Can you please take us through the recruitment process, a fairly detailed account of how you got into this company?
The recent process for housing started off with an online coding round. We had to solve 7 questions in 1.5 hours, and I solved 2.5 questions for that.
In this coding round, initial coding round, what were the languages that you were allowed to code in?
We were allowed to use C, C++, or Java. We could use any of the 3 languages for solving the questions. Actually, these companies look for algorithmic skills than language skills. So all the initial rounds are focused on testing your algorithmic skills.
What were the following rounds after this initial selection round?
26 people were shortlisted, including me. 26 people were shortlisted for the personal interviews. In my first personal interview, I was asked about JavaScript, AngularJS, because they were a part of the skill set which I had mentioned on my resume. And housing uses these technologies, so that was they were the key focus during my first round, along with some simple data structure based questions on linked lists. Then 13 people were shortlisted for the second round, where we were asked questions on core computing concepts like operating systems and computer networks. Then 8 people were then moved to the third round. The third round was a particularly tricky one, where I was grilled on my resume. Each and every point, my internships, my skill set, my projects, each and every point was discussed in depth and in detail in that round.
So what were some of the projects that you had mentioned in your resume?
There were 2 academic and 3 non-academic projects. The academic projects included eAttend, which is a system for biometric marking attendance, and there was a project on compiler construction where I had to build a compiler from scratch for a given language. Then the non-academic projects included some games which I had developed for my club. One was a Mario kind of an arcade game, the other was Pac-Man, where I implemented artificial intelligence for the enemies. Now, artificial intelligence was actually not a part of my curriculum here at Wix. I learned it on my own for this game. So I think it was my enthusiasm to learn things on my own that got me on the positive side for this skill.
Have you done any internships that were related to your coursework? And if so, how helpful were these internships for your recruitment?
Yeah, I had 2 internships. One was a 2-month summer internship after the end of my second year. It was in Bhaskaracharyya Institute for Space Applications and Geoinformatics in Gandhinagar. It's a government research institute for geoinformatics. I had an image processing based project there. That was fairly helpful. Then I had a 6-month internship in my final year in Global Logic Noida. Global Logic also works in the domain of web development and mobile application development. So there I got to know the latest industrial trends and the technologies used by software companies right now. So I was able to connect with those technologies and convey to housing that okay, I'm industry ready and I know the current trends.
During your entire academic career, I'm sure you must have indulged in some extracurricular activities. Were these extracurricular activities helpful in the placement process?
Yeah, definitely. I was a part of two non-academic, technically oriented clubs here in BITS. I was the coordinator for the Department of Visual Media. That is a club which makes the website for our college fest. So I learned web development and mobile application development by that. The other club was the ACM student chapter, that is the Association for Computing Machinery. So there I mentored a lot of projects for our technical fest. Mentoring those projects gave me an insight into a wide variety of computing technologies, and that was definitely helpful in my business.
You seem like quite the techie. However, in terms of economic aspects, a startup entails a lot of uncertainty usually. What makes you confident of your future in housing.com?
Housing.com has grown a lot in the past 2-3 years. It's spread over more than 27 major cities of India. They recently got a funding of more than 500 crores. And they're paying a fresher like me a package of 16 lakhs per annum. So I think housing is not something, no one would invest so much money in something which would dissolve in a few years. So I think housing is there to stay. I'll definitely be happy there.
You sound really confident. So you've obviously done really well for yourself. Any piece of parting advice for people who are aspiring software developers and want to join companies like housing.com?
Yeah, one academic advice, maintain your CGPA above 7. I was lucky enough to get placed in such a high salary paying company, despite having a low CGPA. But there were 8 companies which visited the campus on day 1, and I was eligible only for 3 of them. So maintain your CGPA above 7. Don't take academics lightly. Then do a lot of projects. You should have practical knowledge of everything which you learn. Because see, in the industry, nobody is looking for bookworms. Everybody wants people who can deliver working projects. So having a practical knowledge is what they want.
Thank you, Nihav, for your valuable input. Have a great day and a very successful life ahead.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
If you like the video, do leave a thumbs up. And for any other queries regarding placements, do leave a comment. Our experts are there to help you 24/7. For more such videos, stay tuned and do subscribe.